Let me tell y'all about technical difficulties. First off, let me say, stop changing the algorithms. That's what we need you to do. How about that?
That was to
Um,
Facebook.
yeah, that was to our good friends and people over there. Um, but you know what? It's good. It's good. It's all about your character building moments,
Persevering.
persevering, pushing through, and no matter what, we were showing up for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here. Hey. So I am Collette Portis, and my amazing co-host is.
And I am Reggie Sturns-Kemp.
Yes, and I guess I should have told you who else I was. I am the COO of Red Development Group and Master Business Coach.
Yes, and we have more to tell you about that too. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And so we're so excited.
We got secrets, y'all.
We do.
We got secrets.
We do.
I don't know how much I like them though, but we got them.
It's all good.
So, who is Red Development Group? Red Development Group is a global business development firm that was built to resolve the issues that a lot of businesses and business owners have. And what are those issues? How do you grow? How do you get to the next level? I know that I have greatness in me, and I know that what I'm producing is just good. Help me get to great. I know that I should be making more money in my business. How do I do that? I know that there is somebody out there who understands what I'm going through and can not only understand me, but can help me understand what the next step is that I need to take in order to move my business forward. Those were all of the issues we had.
All of the issues, and I always say it, building the right team. You can't do anything alone, and if you don't have the right team in place, you won't get far.
No.
You lose money, you lose time, you lose energy.
Absolutely. And so we built Red Development Group to answer those questions first for ourselves. And then secondly, we knew that some of you had some of the same issues. So we wanted to be sure that we were able to answer those questions for you. And so there's 3 steps that we take to do that. First, we evaluate your business, and you can go to reddevelopmentgroup.com. We have an evaluation on there called the Red Business Diagnostic that you can take that will help you determine where your business is, what life cycle stage your business is in, what's the value of your business, where are the additional streams of revenue inside of your business, all of those things so that you can help to move your business forward. Our next step is to plan. You always want to plan. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. Either way it goes, you planned. But without a solid plan, you're planning to fail. And then lastly is execution. Executing the plan. It makes no sense to write a plan and leave it on the shelf.
Or write a plan and be so fearful of what will happen that you don't even execute.
Yeah.
You don't launch, you don't execute, you don't take any action on it.
Absolutely.
You have to, yeah.
And guess what? Execution requires accountability.
It really does.
Yeah. And so if you don't have the support system around you and people around you who hold you accountable for showing up and being great, then you got to change your circle. You got to change. And you should not be the smartest one in your circle.
Right.
You should be getting from your circle and giving to your circle at the same time.
That's right. That's right. Because if you're the smartest one, no one is pushing you. No one's making you accountable. No one's pushing you. You're not learning anything. You're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere. So guess what? We wanted to come and talk to you today about, I know you guys hear us always talk about the life cycle stages of business, which is, for a lot of people, is really foreign.
It really is.
They've never heard of it before.
No.
But it is a real thing. And so we wanted to start with stage 1 today. So our word for the day
Our word for day
is evaluate. Yes. So there are 10 steps to determining, or 10 determining factors that help you to understand whether or not you're still in the seed stage. Well, we are going to give you 3 of those today. If you would like the other 7, then we're challenging you to go do the Red Business Diagnostic at reddevelopmentgroup.com. And then when you have a consultation with us, which is included when you do your business diagnostic, we will give you the other 7. Because guess what? What did we just say? You got to execute.
You have to execute.
You got to do something. You got to move. You got to do something. It's not enough to just come and listen to us talk every week. Okay, so we said something last week. What did you do with it in the last 7 days?
Right.
Did you do anything with the information we gave you? Because people pay us a lot of money to get them information.
Yeah, they do.
So y'all be getting it for free. So I'm just saying do something with it.
Yeah, and I would love for you guys to chat more. Sometimes you'll see us and you'll pull us aside and you'll talk about it, but chat more on Facebook because other people they have the same questions you have, or they want to know that they're not alone. So show up, chat, talk to us.
Yeah.
We will respond.
We just talked about how important community is, and this is a space in which you can build a community and ask questions and get information that you need to get that you might not be getting from anywhere else. One of the questions that we hear when people pull us aside, instead of asking the question while they were watching, is I got all this information, I don't know what to do with it. Did you get a bunch of information, you don't know what to do with it? Is that where you are? Where are you? You cannot tell me that you don't need help. People need help. Everybody needs. We need help. We get help. We have coaches because we too need help. And the first step to becoming a phenomenal, amazing CEO is knowing that you need help and not being afraid to go get it. Because if your dream is that important to you, there is no question or person that can stop you from going to get it. Your pride becomes so, your pride is no longer on the priority list. Going to get the answers to the question you have are a high priority.
Yeah, and I don't know about other people's lives, but as soon as I was able to solve one challenge, another was right on their heels. So for you not to have any questions or it all, I don't get that.
Right.
That wasn't my life as a CEO.
You know what I envision every time I hear somebody say that? So let me tell y'all, I was the queen. Yes, the queen of Super Mario Brothers. I was so good that I could beat the king of Super Mario Bros. Because that's how good I was. Let me tell you something.
Lord, this sounds like a Pac-Man story. Come on. Go ahead.
I knew everywhere the gold coins were. I knew how all the turtles was going to do. Guess what? They wouldn't get me. I knew what I was doing. But guess what? I knew what I was doing. But do you know how long it took me to get to the end of that game?
Right.
Now they don't have ends of games anymore. You just buy another song.
Right.
But do you know how long it took me to get to the end of that game?
Right.
Why? I know I can probably go into Super Mario Brother right now today, and I could probably get to level 5 just off memory.
Yes.
But the rest of them, I'm gonna have to keep trying because guess what? At the next stage, it was a new enemy trying to get a girl.
Right.
They were trying to get me.
I know.
They was trying to get me every time. I was like, okay, so you the one trying to get me. Okay, yeah.
And that is how life is.
That's it.
That is how life is. That is how being an entrepreneur is. That is how that is how it is. And for some people, I'm always amazed when people say, well, I would go into business, but nothing in life is easy. Nothing in life is handed to you. Nothing in life.
If there's anybody out there who knows how to do this the easy way, call me. Inbox me. Whatever. It's whatever. Because listen, I want to know.
Yeah.
Because you got a bazillion dollar, not a million, not a trillion, not a bazillion dollar idea. If you know how to make this thing easy.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So if that's what you're looking for.
But I do believe it's worth it. It's fulfilling.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, so maybe for some people.
No.
Because maybe not for everybody.
Well, if you're doing the right thing, it is.
Right, yeah.
If you're not just out here doing something for money, and you are actually functioning in your purpose and doing what you're passionate about and working in your zone of greatness, then you don't have a choice. It is, I equate me being a business owner and doing what I do in my businesses every day to me having my son. Like it is the same. Like I birthed these things. This is my purpose. They give me fulfillment every day. This is my work. Without it, I am not me.
Well, and then so I don't necessarily think that it feels like work to you.
No.
Because it flows effortlessly in and through you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's what being in purpose is all about.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. So, if you have questions, post your questions. We'll be more than happy to answer them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to let Reggie talk while I make sure I can see your question.
Oh, so we had some technical difficulties earlier. However, we are making progress, and I am sure when she gets to that Facebook page, you will have 2 or 3 questions for us. However, shout out to a friend of mine, Adrian Howard. He did mention that he was in Starbucks writing down everything that we had told him the Tuesday before. Not everything, but he had written down some notes. So I'm very appreciative for that. I'm glad to know that people listen and that they're learning, and that makes a difference to Red Development Group and the team here. Look. There we go. Okay, is there a question? Not yet. But we're getting ready to go share, and we're going to be live. And the lighting's pretty good too. Okay, so I want to share with you upcoming events. So on August the 26th, the Tisha Hammond Show featured none other than Collette Portis.
Woo!
Yes, and I'm sure you can go to tishahammond.com or org, which one? .com to see a replay of the Tisha Hammond Show. And then on October the 2nd, Collette Portis will be on Bold Breakthroughs and Business Experts. That sounds like something that you don't want to miss. And so follow us on Facebook, and you will see a graphic that will give more information about how you can see her on October the 2nd. Also remember, coming up, we will have different events. For Red Light next Tuesday, we will have none other than our business coach, Jacob, and pronounce Jacob's last name.
Roick.
I didn't want to get that wrong. Jacob Roick will be with us next Tuesday. Actually, he will be with Collette. It will be Collette and Jacob next Tuesday. And then he is the owner of the Next Level Mindset and Business Coaching. So we are so excited to have him to join the Red Light next week.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm excited about Jacob coming back, coming next week too. Because let me tell y'all, Jacob got me together. I just want y'all to know.
I don't think Jacob knew what he was getting into, but anyway.
He took it in stride. He got me right on together. He was like, yeah, we're not doing that no more. I was like, what? Okay. Then I got a text message like, so what you doing? I was like,
I'm not doing that.
I'm turning it off right now. So listen, let me tell you, when I tell you that we really seriously have people that we're accountable to, it is the only way I can show up and be my absolute best. I'm accountable to Reggie, I'm accountable to my team, I'm accountable to my coach, and I'm coachable. Oh my God.
What did you say?
I'm coachable. Let me tell you something. So we've been talking about this thing. We about to give y'all an announcement for, so y'all better be paying attention, because it's about to happen real soon. But this thing we're about to do, there's a piece I'm about to plug into that thing. Energizer gonna wish they had
Secret sauce.
Energizer wish they had it. They wish they, because if they did, listen, they get rid of the bunny. I'm just saying. Because it's good.
You sound like somebody I know by the name of Fred. Shout out, Fred. Okay.
You know Fred probably.
I'm sure he'll be blowing up Facebook in a minute. All right.
He probably would say something like that. Yeah, don't talk about my daddy. Don't talk about my daddy. So I'm just saying, there are some amazing things that are going on, some amazing things that are about to happen. And listen. If you are struggling in any kind of way, do not do it in secret. I'm putting my church lady hat on here. There's 2 great weapons that the enemy has. One is keeping you silent. Because the longer you stay silent, the longer you stay stuck. The longer you stay stuck, the longer you stay bound. The longer you stay bound, the longer you stay in the chains. My old bishop down in Killeen, Texas at Christian House of Prayer used to say, he'll get a toehold, and then he'll get a foothold, and then he got a stronghold.
And then he has a stronghold.
I have learned in my life that as long as I keep quiet about it, that doesn't mean you go tell everybody. But that means you go find an accountability partner that is going to hold you accountable, whether you got an attitude about it or not. They don't really care about that. They just want what's best for you. And I have multiple people. I am so blessed to have multiple people in my life who do that for me. Mm-hmm. It's not that many of them, for sure. If it's more than 5, you probably need to bring that circle on down. Right? But I'm telling you, do not be silent. Do not live in silence, especially as it pertains to your business. There's a whole community of people that's waiting to support you. Mm-hmm. But you got to let them support you. There's one thing I say to one of my friends. I laugh at him all the time because I say, why do you make it so hard for people to love you? Mm-hmm. Why do you make it so hard for people to help you? Mm-hmm. Why do you make it so hard for people to love your business, to support your business? Mm-hmm. The more you stay quiet about it, you are top secret. Mm-hmm. No top secret business has ever become successful. Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to know about what you're doing and who you are. Right. You got to know that. So do not struggle in silence. Do not struggle by yourself. But also make sure that you are talking to the people who can help you get to the next place. I was listening to a podcast and a young man said, and I was so appreciative that he said it. Mm-hmm. He said, I made the most I had made at that point in a month was $10,000. And I was going to pay for this course. Mm-hmm. And I went to my mom and I said, Mom, this course is $10,000. I'm going to pay for it. And he said, his mom said to him, don't do that. People scam you and you're going to end up losing your money and it's going to end up being a scam. He said he went back to his room. Now this guy is 19 or 20 at this point. Mm-hmm. He said he went back to his bedroom and he started thinking, well, I'm not going to do it because my mom said it's going to be a scam. Right. And then he thought, but my mom is not where I am. She don't even know nothing about where I'm going. She's never been where I'm going. None of that. And so he made the decision. He spent the $10,000, which is what the most he had ever made in 1 month. Spent the $10,000. The first day of the course that he took, he came home and made $25,000, Reggie, on that one day, the first day of the course.
He took the risk.
He took the risk. Calculated risk.
Calculated risk.
But he didn't stay silent. And he took the advice of wise, he took the advice of wise counsel. At that point, that was him.
You know, we can spend a whole lot of money on a lot of different things, but what are you spending on personal development?
Yes.
So I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, both of us have. And it wasn't until the last maybe 2 or 3 years that I spent more money than I ever have on executive coaching, because I knew I was going somewhere, right? And I was having struggles within my business with my business partner at that time. However, that was still the best decision that I made, to have an executive level coach, not just a coach, an executive level coach. So you have to know where you're going in order to figure out how to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He said it was the best money he ever spent.
The best money.
And he spends money all the time on his own development. Your business can only grow as far as you're willing to.
Yes.
And here's the other thing. I know y'all keep hearing me say it, and I'm going to keep saying it until I feel like y'all done heard me loud and clear.
Until you chat it up.
Until you chat it up. Listen, everything you have, every thought you have, every resource you have, everything you have at your disposal is a seed. Mm-hmm. What are you doing with it? When you think about spending money as it pertains to your business or personal life, what are you doing with the seed? What are you doing with it? I have another friend who is a shoe fanatic. I promise you, he probably spends $250 to $400 a week on shoes. And I said to him, so what are your grandkids going to be able to do with these shoes that you're paying for? Like, what you tell me, does the shoe, and everybody who know me know.
She likes shoes.
I don't like them. Mm-hmm. Me and shoes have a love affair. That's the thing, right? But let me tell you something. What are you spending your money on? Nobody has ever buried an apple seed and got an apple. They got an apple tree. And then and guess what? If you grow an apple tree, you get enough seeds to grow an orchard.
Yes.
Shut your mouth.
Yes.
You mean to tell me that's how it works?
Yes, that's how it works.
Can't be true.
That's how it works if you manage it right.
Well, that's how it works if you bury that seed in the ground
That's right.
instead of in your closet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just saying, everything you have is a seed. Everything, every thought you have. I was doing an evaluation for one of my team members today, and she said something, and I said, no. I need you to repeat what you just said. So she said it again. I said, no, this is how you need to say it the next time, because every thought you have is a seed.
Yeah.
And so if that continues to be your thought,
Right.
and you plant that seed, you know, a bad seed can get you a bad plant.
Right.
Right? So if you need to pull the bad seed up and plant a good seed so you can get good.
It goes back to what Pastor Al told you. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Foothold becomes a stronghold. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So listen. Everything you have is a seed. Everything, every relationship, every phone number in your cell phone is a seed. Every single one of them. I tell my clients all the time, your phone has $1 million in it. You just have to know how to go get it. That does not mean that everybody in your phone is about to give you money for your product or service.
Right.
That is absolutely not what I mean, because the numbers and the names that's in your phone, you might get 1% of them to actually give you some money. Right?
That's true.
But the rest of them are not for you to get money from. You got to know what to do with the seed. That's the thing. Because you can take a seed and you can put it in a jar. And you could actually end up putting some soil in the jar and put the seed in the jar. You put a little water in it, then you put the cap on real tight.
Right.
And then what?
It's going to die.
It went on and died. It went on and got dead. Right? You got to know what to do with the seed in order for it to happen. So know that everything you have in your hand, everything you have in your mind, your heart, in your space, it's all a seed. What are you going to do with it? If you listen, somebody listening, I don't know who it is. Somebody listening right now, it's the 1st of September.
Yeah.
And you have no idea how you're going to pay this rent. But what you know is you got 2 more days to figure it out. Right? So if I said that everything around you is a seed, figure out which one of these seeds you're going to get to grow so that you can go take care of it.
And you know, let's take it a little further too, because I do believe that nothing's by happenstance. So just as she talked about seeds, every day when you get up and you go out, the people you encounter, take the time to figure out why you encountered them. Are you asking the right questions? Are you having the right conversations? What are you doing with the relationships that you have and with the people that you interact with on a day-to-day basis?
Because relationships, our grandparents told us, is not what you know, it's who you know. That's the reason why your phone has $1 million in it. Notice I didn't say anything else, but I said your phone has $1 million in it. It is about relationships, but the question is, how are you cultivating them? Every one of your relationships is a seed. Are you cultivating it, or did you just plant the seed and walk away? You never watered it, didn't get any sunlight, any of that. So know that you have what you need to get what you need every day. So now that we are way far on the tangent, we gonna bring it back. Because I told y'all that we were gonna talk about the seed stage and what are some characteristics of the seed stage. So here are some questions I want to ask. I want you to ask yourself. Have you done some initial market research? Right? What is that, Collette? Have you tested your product? Have you run a pilot group? And if you're running a pilot group, don't be trying to hit your pilot group over the head with the top fee. No, you need to give them a break because they need to give you data, right? Have you done some initial market research? Do you even know if they want or need what you have? Hey, Tracy, right? Do you know? We need you to know these things. Does the market even need what you have? We're in a pandemic right now. We're not buying a whole bunch of stuff we don't need right now. We're trying to find Lysol. we try to keep a little change in our pocket just in case we run into a can or two. I'm just saying. Right? What did you do some market research? How long did you do your research? Right? Don't say I talked to my homegirls one day, I invited them over for dinner, and I let them smell my candles and market research check. No.
You know what? And now there's so many ways that they can do it. They can do surveys online. You can tap into people that you don't even know and get the
Yeah.
information that you want back.
Yeah.
You could have taste tests. There's so many
There's
things.
so many ways.
Be creative.
Listen, and right now is the time to be creative. So we are about to do some really amazing work that we keep telling y'all about, but y'all gotta hold out before we can give y'all the
Gotta
real.
stay connected.
But let me tell you something. What we're gonna do for the people who participate in this and the way, like, I'm just like, we wouldn't have thought of it if we weren't in a pandemic.
Yeah.
But even if we weren't in a pandemic, like, this is dope. We should be
Yeah.
doing this anyway because it's just dope. You know, we all like to. I'm just saying, I ain't gonna tell y'all. You gotta be there to win.
Well, you have to be there, and then plus, once you become a part of a group, the support that you get, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because there are not many places that you can go that you feel like you can just really let go,
Yeah.
learn, let go, and really communicate about the things that you are challenged with on a day-to-day basis.
Yes. And have people relate to you and say, oh my God, I did, 6 months ago, I was in that same situation. But look, here's a resource. It's hard to find that when you won't connect with the right people.
Right.
And if you're only connecting with the same people you've always connected with, then you're going to get the same results.
That is true.
Yeah. So, that's one. Did you do some initial market research? Did you? And when you did it, like, when your family asks you for a hookup, do you make them give you some data back? You know what? Okay, so you wanted me to make you another pound cake. But I'm going to need to get a testimonial, and I'm going to need you to answer these 5 questions if I'm giving you another pound cake. How about that? Now you got some testimonial, make them give it to you in video, because then you can change the video into the written, so now you got
That's
2. I'm just saying, right?
Right.
If you're an author and your family wanted you to give them a copy, that's fine. But I'm going to need you to go out to Amazon and rate my book. I'm going to need you to go say something. Because, listen, gone are the days of giving things away for nothing in exchange. You got to get some sort of return. Remember, it's a seed. Listen, if your mama can do a review on Amazon, even if you got to go to her house, put the Amazon on her phone yourself.
That's right. Do it for her. Ask her the questions and then do it for her.
And do it for, because let me tell you, my mama, well, wait, that's a whole other story. So let's just keep going, right? Anybody,
She's
Mima,
watching.
Grandpa, whoever can give you something in exchange. And guess what? The mere fact that you asked your family's opinion, they start to appreciate it. Not only do they start to appreciate it, but they start to see that this thing really is valuable to you.
That's right.
Thus making it more valuable to them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then what it also says is that you understood what you needed, and you planned on how to get it, right? You just didn't show up and ask them to do the survey or give you the feedback or do the video. You said, okay, I need you to do this, or I'll give you this in return for this. So you had a plan for it. Always have a plan of action.
Yes. And let me tell y'all something. Listen, the most honest people you are going to get the best feedback
It's your
from
family.
is your family.
They will not lie, and you better be ready.
You better be ready. But listen, if you can, first things first, if you can manage what your family about to tell you, honey, it ain't nothing anybody in the streets can tell you that's going to hurt your feelings.
Right.
Because, grandma, if you was in my family, Beverly is not the kind, my mama, is not the kind of woman who just gonna go, oh, that baby's shirt cute. No, she gonna be like, oh, that's an ugly baby. She that kind of honest. She just, no filter at all. If you can manage your family doing that and saying that to you, then somebody else telling you no or
Yes.
giving you feedback about your product or service is no sweat off your back.
Yeah.
Because you used to it, because Meemaw just let you have it.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well, and as an entrepreneur, you need to have that type of resolve, because life just isn't always that simple.
It's not. But here's the other thing, though, because a lot of times I think people miss it with family. If your family, if you had a product or service, I'll give a perfect example. I have a friend who has a family member who has a candle business. And she would say, you know, they don't smell good, they don't last long, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, you should tell her. You need to tell her they don't smell good, they don't last long, all of that. But let me tell you something your family would appreciate. If your family came to you and said your product's not good because of X, Y, Z, right? And you went and fixed those things, and then you came back, they're going to be like, oh, you serious? Now they're going to celebrate you, and now they're going to promote you more than anybody else will promote you.
And buy more and be excited because you listen to them.
Yes. They feel important to your process because your family really is important in your process. Don't try to go. You might have one or two family members that'll give you money, for whatever you do. But that's not really their purpose in your business. Their real purpose in your business is to give you some real honest feedback that people in the street ain't going to give you because they want to keep being your friend. Right? Your family, they're going to be your family regardless of whether or not they're your friend.
Right.
Okay? So make sure you do your market research. Then number 2. Now notice, all we've been talking about is your product. You doing research on your product, testing the market, seeing how the market responds to your product. The next thing is researching your industry and getting facts and information. I cannot tell you how important this is. Let me tell you something. If you encounter Collette and you tell me you sell something and you're an expert at something and I know something about what you got and you don't know, I'm probably going to call you on the carpet. That's probably what's going to happen.
That's true.
Never let anybody call you on the carpet about what you do. Go understand your product or service. If you're in insurance, understand everybody's insurance. Understand what other insurance policies are missing. Understand what your policy has that theirs doesn't have. Understand all of the good stuff. Understand why people should even use insurance. What was it created for? What's the history of insurance? What's the greatest benefit you get out of it? Know your stuff. Know your stuff. And in the instance that you just so happen to run into somebody like me who's going to call you on the carpet about it, don't be mad. Be excited about the fact that they helped you understand something you didn't already know. And now you have an opportunity to learn something else.
You have an opportunity, and then you can tap into them. Oftentimes, they would be willing. Because if that's something that you want to do, they want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can do at it.
They appreciate the fact that you value the information they gave you.
Right.
And so they're going to be willing to give you more information. And that's important. So make sure you know your industry facts. Make sure you know what the gaps are in your industry. What is it that's missing? What is your industry not doing that they should be doing? What are your customers not getting that they should be getting, that they really want to have? All of those kind of things. Know your industry. Know what's going on with what you say you're an expert in. Become an expert. It takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. You should be reading books, listening to podcasts, all of that. I binge watch podcasts on Sundays, and sometimes I have to turn it off because I ain't supposed to be working, but I done binge watch these podcasts so much. my brain won't stop. I'm cussing mad at this point. So make sure that you are doing your due diligence. It's so. Let me tell y'all something about this woman who sits next to me. Okay. Let me tell you something. Was in the cleaning industry for how long?
20 years.
20 years. I know people who have been in industries for 30, 40 years, and I could say to them, what is it missing? And they won't have an answer. Not only did she know what was missing, she is creating the product or service that is missing.
Yes.
The solution to the problem.
Right. Yeah. Because, and that's what happens when you are in business and or you're an entrepreneur. You're always looking for what the market needs, right? And so when people talk about multiple streams of income, oftentimes that's where the multiple streams of income can come from.
Yes.
You should never be, your company has to grow, it has to evolve. Things, they don't stay the same.
No. And listen, I was talking to my good friend Myron Pullum today. Man, I love talking to Myron. Listen, for you veterans that's listening to me, if y'all not connected to V-Box, y'all not winning. I'm just saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the conversation, I just love talking to my people because the conversation be so full of jewels that I be icy when I'm like, yes, yes, this is what I'm talking about. But he said to me today, he said, I didn't talk so much about him, I about forgot what he told me. He was talking about the difference that you have to make, the shift that you have to make when you're becoming an entrepreneur. And he said one of the ways he starts his class, I was like, I'm still in that because that's good. One of the ways he starts his class is by saying, okay, before we continue, y'all gonna have to stop thinking like cubicle dwellers or something like that. Right? And I was like, oh, I like it. Mm-hmm. And he said, then he goes on to explain, and so of course, naturally, you go, well, what is that? Well, he said, when you are an employee, right, you just have an expectation that my check gonna show up.
That's right.
Right? He said, well, let me tell you the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur. I was like, this is good. So he said, let me tell you what the difference is between an employee and an entrepreneur. He said, an entrepreneur will see a hurricane happen in Puerto Rico. An employee will see a hurricane happen in Puerto Rico. And, oh my God, those poor people.
The owner will see.
Oh my God, I feel so sorry for them. But an entrepreneur will see that and go, oh my God, the devastation. Mm-hmm. Where's the issue I can go fix? Mm-hmm. What can I do? And while everybody else is running away from it, the entrepreneur is running to it because they know that there's an opportunity there.
And they have solutions.
And they have
solutions.
They're
willing and they're going to take the risk.
And they're going to take. Let me tell you something. I was like, that's good. And it's a true depiction of if you're a true entrepreneur, who you are and what you do.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that was good. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, he made that statement, but then I think about all the people that possibly feel like they're in a rut. If you feel like you're in a rut, if you really feel like you're in a rut, you have to ask yourself, am I still in the right place? Not is my employee still in the right place, right seat, whatever, but am I still in the right place? And if you're not in the right place, it might be time for you to relocate.
Oh, Lord. Do we tell them?
We can tell the people whatever you want to tell the people because the truth is the truth.
So let me tell y'all. Y'all know I don't do this without old Reginelia over here every week. And I love it because we love doing this and we love having an opportunity to come and talk to you all. But sorry. I done messed up something. But let me tell you. So
we're back.
So Reggie was talking about making sure, evaluating first where you are, and then understanding where you want to go. And so.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
so my amazing partner has dedicated 20 years to building a family business. And in that time, she let her dream sit to the side. And what many don't know is it interior architect.
That is it. That is it.
Reggie is an interior architect. She has worked on homes that are $10 million plus. That's the work that she does. That's the passion in her heart. That's what she loves to do. That's what she is amazing, absolutely amazing at. That's the work she doesn't have to think about because it just happens.
Right.
And so.
Yes.
We are freeing her.
Yes.
To go do that.
Yes.
So this is Reggie's last red light.
So they can always call me on the phone and I can be a guest on the phone. But it just really goes back to you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
And because I had operated that business for so long and we were fairly successful in the business, then life happened, which, that's all good and wonderful too. And because it happened, it took me a minute. But once I finally realized that this Red Development Group was important because I wanted to make sure other females, and not just females, entrepreneurs understood how and had the tools and the resources and the diagnostics and all that kind of stuff. And so our coming together was so very purposeful. And if anybody knows me, I am so not, I am a person of purpose, and and God has given me vision.
Yes.
And so my vision was just a little blurred for a little while because, you know, when you've been away for something so long, you don't necessarily know how to get back. And it took good coaches like Collette and, you know, some other people in my life to really get me back to that place and space.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. But for entrepreneurs who, if you are struggling in your business, and if you wake up and you're not happy about what you're doing, or you're confused about what to do, or you know you feel like you're not getting nothing done, you probably aren't getting nothing done. You're not getting anything done because you're exhausted just thinking about it, because it's no longer where you need to be.
Yeah.
So you really have to do some self-examining, and you have to make some real life decisions. And for me, it wasn't an easy decision, but a lot of other things weren't easy in this past year to 2 years. But still, they've been really, really good. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, and I'm so, although it ain't like she going that far. It ain't like she ain't gonna talk to me every day, because I'm still calling anyway. Right? But I am so super proud of the fact that although we love what we do,
Yeah.
but she recognized that, you know what, I love it, but my heart is here.
Right.
And here's what's amazing. So I don't even know what the number is, because I stopped counting. So since you made the decision, how many projects have you gotten? Well, even though this is the first time the announcement's being made, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
But since you made the decision, how many projects have you gotten?
3. And it hadn't been a month, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, it hadn't been a month. But, you know, 3 projects came, and it just ignited, just really ignited everything. And that just made the biggest difference. And I didn't go looking for any of it.
No, but let me if y'all saw my post last week, I was in tears when I wrote it.
I know.
But she's even got a project at the Galleria Mall.
Yeah.
But that's a testament to moving into your zone of greatness. When you do it, the world opens up, and God sends you who's been looking for you.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's releasing, it's renewing, it's so many things. It's so many things. And so I think what I have learned out of all of this is you have to be true to yourself. But I also feel like everything that I have done was what I was supposed to do.
Yes.
Everybody I met, I was supposed to meet them. Everything that we put in place for the right reason. And so it's all going forward, you know.
Without you even putting your feet on the gas.
Yeah, oh my God. You know, sometimes you are just a midwife. And you are supposed to give birth and get out of the way.
Yes.
Get out of the way.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So, I think it's Jamia Stokes says, so happy that you will be operating in your many gifts. Tracy says, you'll be missed. Follow your dreams. Kimberly Baker says, love you. Oh, love that you. And love what? Love that.
We're entrepreneurs.
Love that. Right. Love that for you. And so glad you're back at your passion.
Thank you. You know what? First of all, I want to say hello to Mia and Kim, and I didn't know that you two watched, so thank you for watching. And yes, I am so excited to be back in my lane, doing what I need to do. I have to get ready because she will be building soon, so I got to get ready.
Yes, she got to get ready.
I got to get ready.
So I'm so super proud of you. I am so proud of you. But let me tell y'all something. This is the greatness. I know that I'm in my zone of greatness, but me being in my zone of greatness forced her into her zone of greatness, and together we will run together. Because we don't sit side by side like this anymore does not mean we don't run together. And I know that I can pick up the phone at any point in time and say, I need, bounce an idea, whatever, and she knows she can do the same, because we came here together on the same path with the same kind of the same purpose of being on purpose and in purpose about what we do every day.
And when she says on purpose and in purpose, we were some on purpose, in person women, because we accomplished. Red Development Group will be 1 year old September.
Today! We didn't even know, y'all.
Yeah, I know. That's how busy. Okay. But, today is our 1 year anniversary.
Today is our 1 year
And if
anniversary.
I tell you, when we had our first advisory board meeting and looked at all the things that we did.
And we had that maybe 4 or 5 months in. We had wait.
It was about it wasn't the third month, because we planned it every 4 months, but
it was about 4 or 5 months in, and we had done in Red Development Group what most businesses wouldn't even do in a year.
Right.
We had done in the partnerships and all of that we do. But that's what we do. That's what we do for our clients. So of course we're going to do that for us, is build these partnerships and all of that. I mean, when I tell y'all, there is some stuff coming up with Red Development Group that y'all need to be watching for, because I can't even say what it's just a lot.
So this is what I'd say. Had I had a Red Development Group when I was building the cleaning company, and I've done a couple other companies, had I had that, where would I be?
Yes.
Where would I be? And so don't you know that everything that Red Development offers, that Acclaimed Design Development is doing every
Yes.
So the thing that most people don't realize is they think once you've done the work one time, you don't have to do it again. I've already birthed those companies. They've already done that. So now I have a new company. It has to go back through all those different processes in order to be successful.
Yes.
And don't you know that I'm putting in the work to do that? So you don't just show up and it happens. It doesn't work like that.
But here's the other thing too, Reggie, that I think is an important point to make. Not only did you go back to, you said this is the love of my life and I have to go do it because it's in me and I've got to get it out. Not only did you do that, though, you started preparing from that moment. I said last week, explosions happen when preparation meets opportunity. She just said she got three clients. And I promise you, it hasn't been 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. She's got 3 clients, one including a project in the Galleria Mall, right? Yeah. Preparation meets opportunity, and there is where your explosion happens. She was prepared. Now, is she perfectly prepared? No. She's still working on that. She just started this like 2 weeks ago.
Aggressively working.
Yes.
No.
But let me tell you what you're not doing.
Yeah.
You're not answering no random phone calls. No. You're not going to no random events and stuff like that. Because you know what you got. I got these clients.
That's right.
Yeah, I got some stuff to do.
Right. But it took a while. It was a road to get here, because and the way I knew that I was approaching something different in my life is when I can't remember what I was doing, but I stayed up all night doing it.
Yeah.
And I think I probably mentioned that to you.
Yeah.
And I hadn't stayed up all night doing nothing just y'all, okay, I've been, when I say I went through life changes, I went through several life changes. We talk about that.
Oh, there we go.
And so for me to have done that, I got life. Even though I stayed up all night, I was still very much energetic. That's when I knew I had to get back to that place. So for another entrepreneur that's out there, whether it be in your business or in your personal life, if there are certain things that you feel like you are just dead inside too, you need to evaluate. But those things that allow you to stay up and give you the energy to stay up, and you are fueled by it, that is the thing that you need to do. And sometimes people are gifted and they don't recognize their gifting because they do it so naturally. Pay attention.
Yes. I tell my clients all the time, when I'm teaching, if I'm doing a workshop or whatever I'm doing, if I'm just speaking, I always say the purpose is always the heart. It's always the thing that people feel like eludes them.
Yeah.
But it's really not eluding you. It's been telling you your whole life what it is. It's the one thing that you can stay up all night doing. You don't have to eat. You don't have to sleep. You ain't got to drink nothing. But for 3 days, you just been zoned out on this thing. Whatever that is, and y'all hear me say it all the time, if it's making different varieties of potato salad, then potato salad is your thing. Whatever your thing is, it is the thing that gives you so much life and so much energy that you don't need food, you don't need
Right,
sleep, you
right.
don't need anything to drink. But by the time you're done in that 3 days, you've created one, a masterpiece, and two, you so tired that you just pass out.
And you know, remember, I'm sure everybody's grandparents would tell them, whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability.
Yes.
When you're operating in your gifting, you are doing it to the best of your ability. I remember meeting this guy that had a company that moved pianos. And in my natural mind, I say, oh, he ain't doing that much business. But yes, he was. Because, see, if you get a piano moved, it's not being moved from one zip code in your neighborhood to the next zip code. Typically, people who get pianos moved, they get them moved from one country to the next country. Because if you're Alicia Keys or Stevie Wonder, you're not going to use somebody else's piano.
No.
You're going to move your piano to wherever you're going to perform, and you might add 10 more to it. You know, so, but that was my thinking. That's why you cannot limit your thinking, nor sometimes if you don't know or understand, just keep your mouth shut and say interesting.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to say, just say interesting, and then go do your research on that.
Yes, let me tell you. So, one of the things that we do and we have our clients do is we believe that everybody has some level of spirituality, and so part of when we help our clients strategize for their business, they have a spiritual plan that they follow every day. Because if the Creator has given you the idea, then don't you think you should go back and ask Him what the next step was? I was just saying.
Right.
I think you should do that. And so my scripture last month was First Chronicles 29. And it was talking about where David at this point is gathering, King David's gathering all of this stuff so he can build the temple. And then God helped him to understand that I had you to gather all the materials, but your son Samuel is the one who's supposed to build the temple. Not Samuel, Solomon, I'm sorry. So Solomon was supposed to build the temple. Well, I know we ain't got nothing to
Go
drink
ahead.
Solomon was supposed to build the temple. Well, just because you got one, to Reggie's point about she had the vision, just because you have the vision don't mean you build the temple.
Right.
Just doesn't mean the building part of the assignment is your assignment.
Right.
But the preparation piece is yours, because if you didn't write down what was supposed to happen, then how is the, right? Habakkuk 2 and 2, write the vision, make it plain so that he that finds it can run with it. Why would it say so he that finds it can run with it?
Because somebody else is going to get the baton and he's going to run with it.
Because maybe it's not for you to build, maybe it's for somebody else to build. But if you're not in your purpose, you will never get the instructions.
Right. Or you'll struggle with it. You'll struggle with it. Yeah. Because even I even believe that God shared with me that, I mean, He may not have given it to me in detail, but He was giving me glimpses of what would happen. But I always thought that if I start something, I got to finish it. Surely I got to finish it. You know, but that wasn't necessarily the case.
Yes, because isn't that what our parents tell us?
Right.
If you started, you better finish it.
You better. Right. You better finish it. So, you know, Collette mentioned a part of the coaching includes a spiritual plan. So it includes just more than a spiritual plan. The spiritual plan, the personal development plan. It includes a lot of things, but I'm going to speak to those 3 things and maybe even the community plan. So for me, I've always felt that I was very disciplined and structured as an entrepreneur. However, when I started the goalie process, I was like, oh, I got to up my game, you know, because it makes me do all these things simultaneously. And so, I not made me, I should have already been doing them. But when you start doing them, there was a book that I read called Traction. This absolutely gives you the traction because in every area you're doing what you need to do. So personal development, she talked about having a scripture that she would read every month. She would meditate on that particular scripture every month. Yes, she does other things too, but according to her coaching style and method, she was supposed to come up with a scripture, and then that is your scripture or your chapter a month and other things. But the personal development, there are 3 books a month that we read, And then any given week, we're always listening to podcasts or several different things, but you at least have to read 3 books a month. Well, before this, I possibly wasn't reading 3 books a month. So again, it just sharpens who you are as an entrepreneur and as a person.
Yeah.
And if all these things, if these areas are not balanced, you're not able to do good business anyway, nor are you able to be effective in your home as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, the golden.
And not just that. I mean, it goes back to an earlier point we made about the young man that I said spent the $10,000 on coaching. There's a lot of coaching programs. There's a lot of development programs. There's a lot of stuff. But let me tell you something. If you're not the kind of person who's going to educate yourself first, then don't go give somebody $10,000.
Right.
Because you're not going to do that either.
Well, and oftentimes, you'll sign up for something, and then you don't do the work, so you stop.
Mm-hmm. And then you don't, because here's the thing, habits are hard to break. People don't just say that, but habits aren't just about, I smoke or whatever it is, but habits are also about the way you think. I talked about one of my team members today and how I corrected the thought process that she was having. And I said to her, I'm going to keep doing that until I hear you say something different. Mm-hmm. Because I understand that it's a habit. Mm-hmm. She appreciated the fact that I would even invest that kind of time in her but I understand it's a habit. So what you do, the way you think, the way you respond, the way you move, these are all habits that we've created, and they're hard to break.
They're hard to break.
Which again is why you need an accountability partner.
You do, and even though I took the class, initially it was still hard. You have to build up to that level of discipline, and it was a different level of discipline. So it requires a lot.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can keep going.
We can. So for the Red Force, just in case you're watching, I do have videos for you. You were not supposed to hear that tonight. Anyway, nonetheless.
So listen, okay, so the third indicator that you're still in the seed stage, and remember there's 10, so we're going to give you 3. If you want the other 7, go to reddevelopmentgroup.com, do your business diagnostic. Yes, it's going to cost you an investment in your business to learn where you are, so right? And then we'll give you the other 7. But number 1 was initial research, initial market determination, so your market research on your product and how the customer base is going to respond to your product. Then research your industry facts and information. Know your stuff.
Yes.
Show up and know what's going on in your industry.
Yes.
And then number 3 is comparison and competition. So listen, here's what I believe about competition. I am a believer in collaboration. Unless you decide you don't want to collaborate with us, then we're going to come kick your butt.
We're coming for you.
Then we coming for you. I'm just saying. But competition is really, okay, so competition has a negative connotation.
Yes.
But here's why. Here's how I want you all to think about competition going forward.
Yes.
Instead of thinking about competition as she does hair and I do hair and she can take my clients, right? I want you to think about competition in this way. I'm going to go have a conversation with her to see what she's great at. I have yet to meet a stylist who is great at everything.
That's right.
Some of them can do short hair, some of them can do long hair, some of them can do natural hair, some of them can color, some of them can cut, some of them can style. What is he or she great at? And what are you great at? Because I am willing to bet you $10 to a dime that what he or she is great at is different than what you're great at.
That is so true. The same with the cleaning industry. There was 1 million cleaning companies. Now, granted, some of them weren't necessarily our competition, but oftentimes we specialized in different things.
Yes. And guess what? When you get a job that you don't specialize in that area,
you need other people.
You need to call them and say, look, honey, I got
need
this
you to come clean these windows. Right.
Come clean these windows. Because let me tell you who ain't cleaning the windows.
We're not. We're not.
Yeah.
So Mia said that Reggie has done beauty. So I did get a chance years ago to do a bakery, to design a bakery in Chicago.
Really?
But the most
You
wonderful
tell me the
thing.
address so I can go
Oh,
on Friday.
I know. Oh, that's right. You'll be in Chicago on Friday.
Leave it
So I'll have
now.
to give you the information. But the marvelous thing about that is that it's family owned.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what the exit strategy is, though.
Oh, you'll have to find out. I'll give you her number.
Yeah.
So we're excited. So I was going to make a comment about what you said about competition, comparison and competition. So, the thing about it is that you could end up doing great business with one another.
Yes.
When she talked about possibly we needing subcontractors, sometimes the contracts are so big. Before we ended our season,
Yes.
we took on a contract with DFW Airport, and we went to that walkthrough for those bids. Probably they wouldn't have them every year, but every 2 years for 10 years.
Wow.
But we knew that we could not take it on by ourselves. But it took us 10 years before we found a company that we were willing to partner with.
Wow.
So, you take your time, get to know people. They are not a threat to you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, remember I talked about when you go out, what are the relationships that you're making, and are you having the right conversations? If you have the right conversations with that person, if you ran into them, the likelihood is that you ran into them for a reason.
Yes. Let me tell you, Red Development Group is about to expand so much that we are literally looking for business coaches.
Yes.
We're a coaching firm, but we are looking for business coaches so that we can certify them, so that we can give them business.
Yes.
Why? Because we can't do it. Is impossible for us to reach everybody that needs help. So we got to go build a team, a community of people
Because
who
it's
can go
not
help them.
just for Fort Worth.
Because it's definitely not just for
No,
Fort Worth.
it's not.
So if you know of a business coach,
Mhm.
they have to be business coaches, not life coaches, but a business coach. That's what they call themselves. Or a business consultant. They might use that term too. Send them to Red Development Group. Tell them to look around.
Yes.
Because eventually we're going to be putting out something so that we can start to build this community of business coaches. Why? Because the work that we have to do, the work that we already have, we need more people to come and do the work.
And the time is now.
Yes.
Never before has globally, this is not even globally, have so many businesses, entrepreneurs, communities been affected. And we go over these statistics all the time, but for most communities, 65%, if not more, are operated by small businesses. So if your economic base is made up of, I think the number is more than 60, right?
It's 99% of the business in the U.S. is small business.
Okay, so that means that if small businesses are affected, our economy is having problems.
Yeah.
And we are experiencing that. So the time is now for Red Development Group. So coaches, we need you.
Yes. Yes, we do. And so we're looking for you. And we're looking for you, those coaches that's going to show up great, though, because the only way you come to our table is if you come with your greatness.
Well, you won't stay long. If you're not
Yeah, you
operating
won't
your
stay long
greatness.
because we're going to probably get on your nerves. But so, yes, so we have that coming up. Red has some really great stuff coming up. Y'all pay attention.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay
I'm
woke.
telling you right now, if you need, Reggie said stay woke. If you need some help with your business, pay attention to some stuff. We're about to partner with some really great partners that's going to give you guys some access to some stuff that
Yeah.
otherwise would cost you about $20,000.
Yeah.
But you won't have to spend that at all. So make sure that you're paying attention. Make sure you're sharing the information with other business owners that you know.
Yeah.
But again, it's a seed. If you're going to plant that seed in somebody else, I promise you that apple seed will not grow an apple. It will grow a tree, and they will come back and plant something into you, or somebody else will come back and plant something into you. So make sure you're sharing the information. If you know somebody who needed to hear what we talked about today, share this with them. Let them know that there's some help out there. There's some great information out there. But together as a community is how we're going to get not just through
Right.
this, but we are going to be better on the other side of this. And that is what it's about. It's about whether or not you want to be better on the other side of this, because we definitely want you to be. And so we show up every week so that we can give you some pearls and some jewels.
Yeah.
And we hope that we're not throwing our pearls to the swine. And we hope that it is our prayer that whatever you heard that resonated with you today, by next week, come back and tell us what you did with it and what the results were.
Right.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Tell us how you're using what we're doing.
Yes.
Because we want to make sure that we are supporting you in the way that you need to be
Yes.
supported in. So next week we'll have Mr. Jacob Roig, who's amazing, but I'll have a new co-host with me. He just handsome. And he's so cute, y'all. He easy on the eyes. I just want y'all to know he easy on the eyes. So, and he just smart.
He is.
Yeah, he's smart. Sometimes he got smart
Ah.
sometimes, but you know. So this has been great. Again, if you want the other 7 indicators that you are still in the seed stage,
Yes.
go to Red Development Group. .com, do the Red Business Diagnostic. It'll pop up when you get to our site, or it's up in the menu bar. You can click on it. Go do the Red Business Diagnostic so we can help you out. Make sure you connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, so you don't miss anything. On LinkedIn, which I didn't put on here, so you don't miss anything.
Did they upload the YouTube from the Las Vegas speaking that you did?
Oh,
That
so
was really good.
just a heads up, if you are on our YouTube page, I spoke for the Las Vegas National Speakers Association with Jim Root and those guys that I've learned to love now. And so that's up on our YouTube page. It's some really great stuff. That was actually me teaching.
It's some really good stuff on there.
Yeah.
I recommend highly.
Yeah. And if
that
you
go
have
and listen.
If you have the goalie book, actually what I did was I walked them through the work plan. So if you have questions about it, go watch that video, because it's actually walking through it. But even if you don't have the goalie book, then you can still go listen, and you're still going to get something really great from it.
Really good.
So remember that nothing great happens with one person.
Yes.
So show up and be great. The world, you owe it to the world, and we're expecting it. So I am Collette Portis with Red Development Group.
And I am signing off. I am Reggi Sturns-Kemp, and it has just been a pleasure.
Yes.
So I'll be watching, and I bet you I'll chat.
Yeah. and you're with
Acclaim Design
Yes.
and Development.
And what's the
Thank you.
website?
It is acddconsulting.com or even acclaimdesign.com. Either way.
Either way, you can get Reggie. How about that? Because I'm getting it.
I wouldn't go there today. I've been still working on the website, but it's coming. Yeah, the revised version.
Yes. But please make sure you support her.
Yeah.
We will certainly be supporting her. We're going to put her to work. We're going to do more to support her. We're going to put her to work.
Yeah.
So it has been an amazing day as always. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for your patience with our technical difficulties. And thank you, ladies, for chiming in and chatting with us. We love you for it. And good night.
Toodles. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for joining us. We are so excited that you decided to take some of your time and spend it with us. You know, people say that time is money, but we don't believe that, because there's no amount of money that you can spend to get your time back. Time is invaluable. And so we appreciate the fact that you took some of your time and spent it with us. That means a lot. And we hope that it was time well spent. Listen, we are on purpose about disrupting the status quo, helping you to become a sound, solid, sustainable business owner, helping you to build and grow your legacy, and bringing together the resources, the tips, the tools, the tricks, all of that stuff that will help you do that. And so we hope today that you got some of that. but the work is just beginning. There's 3 stages to this. You have to evaluate, you have to plan, and you must execute. So do yourself a favor, do us a favor. Go to reddevelopmentgroup.com or redwomen.win and do your business diagnosis. There's a link right on, there's a pop-up that will come up so you can do your red business diagnostic that is going to help you determine right where you are in business. Because the only way to get to where you're going is to first know where you are and where you're starting. So evaluate your business. And then next, go to Amazon, go to ColettePortis.com, get your goalie bundle. This is how you're going to write your plan, not just any old plan, an effective plan that tells you and your team and those who work with you what needs to be done in your business every day in order to execute the business of your business. We want you to show up and be great. We want your greatness to show up in your business. We believe that you are great and nobody else can do what you do to the level that you can do it in. But you first have to evaluate where you are, create a plan, and then execute the plan. And then don't forget to follow us. Come back next time. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on Instagram. Connect with us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. Wherever you can find us, connect with us. We have a blog where we're pushing out great information, not just from us, but all of the experts that are in our network are there to feed you the things that will cause your greatness to explode out of you. So show up, be great, be the best at what you're the best at, and connect with Red so we can keep feeding you the tools, tips, and tricks and resources that will help you do that. Until next time, we will see you on the other side. Have a great day.